Hi, and welcome to Travels with Phil. I'm Phil Constantine. On this episode, we are going to be in New York City. And what's more iconic or representative of New York City? Well, the Empire State Building. So let's take a look at this enormous structure in what is called Southern Midtown. You can see the red dot there showing you where it is on Manhattan, south of the Central Park, north of the end of the island there. You can see the little red dot toward the bottom. Let's zoom in here. Google Maps provided this. Thank you, Google. And it is the building right in the center there with the vertical lines going up. It is 102 or 103 stories high, depending on who you want to listen to. And well, let's show you a clip here, show you from 1932 about a fictional building, but it's really the Empire State.
On your right, ladies and gentlemen, you are about to gaze upon the eighth wonder of the world, the most colossal structure in the universe, Manhattan Tower. Compared to this, the ancient Tower of Babylon was a doghouse, 1,265 feet, 102 stories above the ground. At its pinnacle, a mooring mast for Zeppelin. 250,000 tons of stone and 60,000 tons of steel were used in its construction. 19 million feet of telephone, telegraph, and electric wiring, 125 miles of piping. It is a city within itself, having its own banks, restaurants, stores, laundries, and its own fire and police department.
Travels with Phil continues. I've tried to avoid using the vertical position, but, well, the Empire State Building, you pretty well have to. It won't fit in here horizontally. There you go. Once the tallest building in the world, still a pretty big structure. And it's almost 100 years old now, so let's look at some fun facts about the Empire State Building. 1,250 feet high, or 1,454 with the antenna. It took only 1 year and 45 days to actually do the construction. They started the excavation for the ground a little earlier. For 40 years, starting in 1931, it was the tallest building in the world. It was once called the Empty State Building because there were so many vacancies because it opened up just after the Depression started. 2012, it made more money from the tours than it did from the rent. It has its own zip code, 10118, 6,500 windows plus, 70 plus elevators. 23 times a year on average you get struck by lightning, and even that lightning, sometimes static electricity, can cause folks kissing up there to feel some shock. So let's take a look at the outside of the building. This is from the ground floor, and this is how you come in off the main street here. It's on 5th between 33rd and 34th. From the ground floor of the Empire State Building, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New Jersey, all the maps down there, the glowing spot on the top. So let's go on inside. The Empire State Building has some fabulous views from the observation decks. There's two of them. Most people only go to the 86th. They charge even more to go to the 102nd. But then you take the elevator up, and it's a long process. And again, they made more money out of this in 2012 from the people taking these tours than they did from the rent. So all the way up the long elevator ride to the 86th floor, and then you come out on the observation deck. You actually sometimes change elevators there. And you'll see it's open for long, long lines. You can see the difference there between the 86th and the 102nd floor. And not as many people go up to the 102nd floor. You can get a pretty good view. The difference between 86th and 102nd, a little bit. 32, that's what it looked like. This is what it looks like pretty much now. They make changes from time to time, but you know this is basically it. Travels with Phil continues from the 86th floor of the New York Empire State Building, looking toward the 1776 building down there. Make that a little bigger. It's 30. All right. Brooklyn over to the left. This is Manhattan. That's, I believe, downtown. New Jersey over on the other side. Find it here, right in there. Oops. Right in there you go. Statue of Liberty. Hard to figure out where that was. Ellis Island next to it. Verrazano Bridge way off in the distance out there. Very tough. Yeah, New Jersey over there. Go far enough out, the Atlantic to the left. Gold Dome over there. All right, continuing from the observation deck, this is the northwest corner. Yes, indeed. The wind was blowing and it was very windy up there that day. It's also fairly crowded, so that's why you see me bouncing around, people bumping into you. It was hard to get my camera up. Times Square, where that H&M building is, down at the bottom of that. You can't obviously see it from here. The upper reaches of Times Square are visible. There's definitely New Jersey over there. Alright, continue here from the northeast side. Central Park down in the distance. 2 MetLife buildings. One green over there, one not so green over here. Chrysler building definitely could use a clean-up job. East River, West River, I'm not sure which river. I like how that building over there is bent.
They don't know what that one is yet. They're building it, is what they said on the cruise yesterday.
The bent building.
Yeah, they don't know what it is yet. They haven't named it. They said it's going to be a residential.
If it belonged to Trump, you'd call it the Crooked Hillary.
I like it.
The northeast corner. And I was up here just before the 2016 election, I should say. So Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump were on a lot of people's minds then. Some pictures here from still the 86th floor, looking up toward the pinnacle, the top part of the tower. And it's an impressive sight. It really is. If you like high places. If you don't like high places, you will not like it. Don't throw the things off. Some people have jumped. This is what the building looked like as it went through its construction phases, and this is how it compares with other buildings. The new One World Trade Center is taller, and this is the guys putting the antenna, or I should say the lightning rod on top. Now, it gets foggy around this part, and because it's so tall, sometimes it's in the middle of the fog, and unfortunately, July 28th, 1945, a B-52 crashed into the building, hit the 79th and 78th floors, or 79th and 80th floors. Now, this is a B-52, or B-25, not 52, B-25. And you can see some of the smoke coming away from the building. It was still foggy when this movie was made. Now, this was a silent movie that was made. It came out again in 1945, and this is the firefighters inside the building. Most people hadn't heard about this. If it hadn't been for 9/11, very few people would have heard about it. But it sort of faded into history after World War II. It happened on a Saturday, and the 3 people on the airplane and 11 people in the building were killed. Fortunately, it did happen on a weekend, which meant most of the building was empty. It crashed into the National Catholic Welfare Council offices. A lady, an elevator operator, the elevator got cut off and it dropped down 75 floors, and she survived. It's surprising. Guinness says that's the world's longest drop in an elevator where somebody survived. But you can see the damage here. They were flying into Newark, and the pilot got confused, and instead of turning right, he turned left, and they struck the north side of the building. This is the hole in the building itself. So you can see the firefighters here looking out the hole into the nothingness below, or at least the city streets down below. And they were just doing routine transportation. This was toward the end of World War II. You see some of the injured people being taken out of the building. I don't know exactly how many people were injured. But again, 11 occupants of the building and the 3 people on the airplane were killed in this. And this is the tallest successful fire that's ever been put out in North America, maybe even the world. It did catch fire. And those are a couple of the bodies being placed in a vehicle to take them back to the coroner's office. So the Empire State Building, a beautiful spot, night or day. Just a nice place to be in New York City. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up by clicking on the button below. You're welcome to leave comments below as long as the language is family friendly. And finally, if you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my channel by clicking the button over on the bottom right-hand corner. Thank you again for watching.